Howdy, my dudes. Got another request here from Travis here. He wants me to go over his endgame builds. This one here, it has really incredible gear, but luckily we were actually able to squeeze out quite a few big improvements out of this one. I went through this, wanted to give you guys some proper introduction. So first of all, let's go over the equipment because the equipment is ridiculous. He has the weapon swaps as well for the incredible weapon damage for bosses and the attack speed one for pretty much everything else, mapping included. He's got some crazy high-end furtive wraps as well. It doesn't have 1 to 12 lightning damage, but you probably paid like a quarter as much, and you still have the 4% attack speed for 25 dex. These are beautiful. Ridiculously good belt, ridiculously good boots, ridiculously good rings. Like, holy crap, these are, I don't know if there's better ones on the market. Like, this is fantastic. Even with the double attributes on, or triple attributes on this one, double on this guy. With all elemental resistances on your warrior to make it so you don't need any resistances really anywhere else. This takes care of it for you. Probably 50% 5 sockets, judging by how good the rest of your gear is. Your helmet is incredible, and your amulet is incredible. This one here could be divine slightly higher, but are you really going to risk losing a bunch of all attributes for maybe getting like 3 more all attributes if you're lucky? Like, this is a really ridiculously good Astromantis Stellar Amulet. The one thing I have definitely noticed on here is with regards to the skills. I also noticed that here on your jewels, none of them say they're corrupted, but they probably are. The Megalomaniac doesn't have any data on it. This is a very nice heroic tragedy, a resonance from nothing, holy crap, and a ridiculously good against the darkness. So now before I get too far ahead of myself, first I gotta close this guy. His Megalomaniac is Vulgar Methods and Deadly Forces. For whatever reason, it copied twice. And yeah, I just copied and pasted Against the Darkness up here as well to show where it is. I'm going to show roughly how I'm putting everything together now. But the first comment I have regarding the jewels is on your sapphires here with 20% increased magnitude of damaging ailments. You have that twice, and once of magnitude of ignite. So unfortunately, the only magnitude you actually really care about, I mean, if you're a Stormweaver, you'd care about chill, but since you're an Invoker, the only one you really care about is shock. And you get that through magnitude of non-damaging ailments or magnitude of shock, nothing else. So unfortunately, those nodes are a little bit not dead because how ridiculously good the rest of the nodes are, like maximum energy shield, crit chance, crit damage, energy shield, crit chance, crit damage, energy shield, crit damage, recover mana on kill, and then energy shield, crit chance, crit damage. Ridiculously good jewels. If they're not already corrupted, they probably don't even need to be corrupted because those are, I don't even know how expensive they'd be anymore. But then something like Controlled Metamorphosis, this wouldn't be expensive to corrupt. Then the only other thing is like your Veron and your Against the Darkness, and those things are hard to say corrupt because holy crap, they're way too expensive and hard to get. But yeah, this is one of the only ones that I'd say Warrior might work well with it. But I noticed you have a lot of spirit cost on here. I don't know if you're actually able to use all these with a Warrior if you have a chest swap. But now let's go on to the skills. So skills, first of all, your Tempest Flurry is wonderful with our Overcharge, Martial Tempo, Rage, Primal Armament, and Bullseye. Bullseye is used because you have Falcon Dive. However, even though Falcon Dive is great with the crit chance and accuracy rating, I don't think this is best for you. Not at all. I think this is not where you should be going with this because I've done the math for you. And based on the accuracy rating that you would have, you'd get probably around 25 to 30 accuracy rating, or sorry, attack speed from Bullseye. But if you're to make a few swaps that I have on the tree for you, you'd still stay at capped out crit chance, but you'd get 14% flat attack speed from the nodes, plus 100 dex roughly, on top of some int and a few other things. But that would be 62% attack speed, and you'd get an extra support skill for your Bullseye, you'd get more damage, all that sort of stuff. Just for where your power level is at, these 5 nodes alone are about 90 decks. I know you got this one dead node here, and it's a bunch of travel, but it's incredibly good. Incredibly good. It's about 100 and some, with also anointing this node up here instead of what you have it on your amulet with Wildstorm. I'm going to show how I would like to get it without anointing anything else. Like, I think you'll be moving a few things around for sure, but first we'll finish with the skills. So yeah, first I'd say definitely drop Bullseye. Bullseye should be probably swapped out with something like Crescendo maybe, so you get more AoE from the lightning bolt dropping down. Maybe Culling Strike if you like that. Fiery Death could be very aesthetic if it does pop off in fiery explosions. Not 100% on that. Behead could be a good one. I mean, it's not very good, but if you remove Herald of Ice, you could use Behead or Innervate. As it stands, Herald of Ice kills everything if you have it on. Without, you'd get a few Behead procs, so you kind of get a mini Headhunter, but the Behead, it lasts a very short amount of time, and the buffs aren't that strong, but it is kind of nice to see you getting those rare mods every once in a while. It's just aesthetic. I personally believe that Innervate would probably be the best for you if you're willing to drop Herald of Ice, which I believe you are with how much int you have. It is not necessary anymore. The big one to change here, Tempest Spell. Concentrate effect, great. Immolate, great. But you have Rising Tempest and you have Minion Pact. Close combat's great, but like Rising Tempest, you're only getting 12% more elemental damage from your Tempest Flurry being lightning. You're not casting cold skills or fire skills because you're using Castle and Critical. You could swap that out to Elemental Invocation, but Castle and Critical is fantastic, and I'm definitely not saying it's necessary in any way. Castle and Critical is a wonderful, wonderful ability as well. Keep using it if you like it. I like using automated elemental invocation so I can use Rising Tempest, but right now this is only doing a 12% more multiplier. Using something like Execute or Primal Armament would give you the same amount of effect as Rising Tempest. Obviously, you take Primal Armament out of Tempest Flurry and add another one that I mentioned above. And then Minion Pact is doing literally nothing for you. And so you could use both of them, Execute and Primal Armament, if you wanted to. I wouldn't say put Magnified Effect on. It's better to just have Concentrated Effect on there and swap it out one for one when you're doing your sims. But that's up to you if you wanted to. But it'd look and feel bad because they'd be fighting against each other. But Overabundance, even though I don't like it as it stands, would do just straight up more than Minion Pact because Minion Pact is doing nothing for you, and then you wouldn't have to swap out another gem when you do sims, and I mean, it might just feel kind of okay, but you're probably not dropping many bells with your ridiculous power level. Then your Charge Staff, I don't think there's anything I'd change on that. Your Charge Staff is looking pretty damn good. Your Herald of Ice is looking fantastic too, and the only thing is, like, you might even be willing to drop it and reduce some of the spirit pressure, that spirit cost pressure that you have. The one thing I would say probably definitely put on would be Charge Infusion, just to make it even easier to max out your crit chance. That way you could reduce a lot of skills on the tree that you need for crit chance, and you'd just be set at 100% with your Eye of Winter. I think that's really, really helpful and important for you. I think it would do a lot. And with your Combat Frenzy on, and how much you're freezing with your Hail to Thunder tech going off, yeah, you don't need to worry about much. You're gonna have max power charges all the time, so don't worry about it. The one thing is, I don't know if you need Clarity and Precision, and again, these are spirit cost increases, and you have a Warrior chest on here, so I don't know how you're affording it all, but like Precision absolutely wouldn't be important anymore after dropping Falcon Dive on here. And yeah, like obviously dropping Falcon Dive and going the other, I showed that already, you'd be getting multiple attacks a second faster without it. Clarity might be nice to have, but I don't know if you need it at all. But with that extra attack speed, you might actually drain some mana. I doubt it, though. I don't think you'll need Clarity, and that's just 20 extra Spirit, and then dropping Herald of Ice is another 30, so that's 50 extra Spirit. Grim Feast, love it. Your Castle and Critical, It has an issue with Pierce because Pierce and Chain do not work well together, and Chain is fantastic for Eye and Winter. The issue is skills only chain when they hit something and bounce off, and they can't bounce off if they pierce. So you should probably, if you're going to put anything, maybe Fork would work well with it. I don't know if Fork and Chain work well together, but I know Pierce and Chain do not. Inspiration's great. Wind Dancer is looking pretty fantastic. I would say definitely put Inevitable Critical on there because it won't be getting the benefit of the Eye of Winter stuff almost for certain. But having Inevitable Critical in there is pretty fantastic for Wind Dancer. Like, it's not getting popped all the time, and to make it that much more effective, I think it's the best in slot for Wind Dancer. Now for your passive tree. Your passive tree, I definitely was talking about a few ways to definitely improve it. The first thing I was saying is, well, I've got it kind of written out on here. You had a node up here, remove that, like this node up here, remove that. I'm pretty sure that just came in wrong, so not too big of a deal. Then this crit chance node is not needed if you have the charge infusion with how good your jewels are. I'd say definitely come up here and get these crit chance nodes. They're so incredibly powerful. Instead of anointing Wildstorm, anoint Deep Trance, and it gives you that attack speed, the cost reduction, everything that you're needing. Swap out the Controlled Metamorphosis with this jewel, just 1-for-1 swap their position. Then path here to your Falcon technique, I believe, and path up here for the Dex nodes. It's really incredibly powerful for you. And take off all of these and just keep the same pathing downwards. I had this noted on a path of building earlier exactly what it was, and it was a huge increase for you. I wish I could show you, but unfortunately I recorded this video about 45 minutes ago and no audio went through, and so I've closed that path of building and it's not there. I could show you a similar one I have here, but it's definitely not the same. Like, I didn't path around this. It's unfortunately not there anymore, but in the path of building, your attacks per second went from about 13.2 to 14.98. And your damage went up, your stats went up, your defenses, I'm pretty sure, went up as well, just because of the stat distribution. Because you had all these dexterity nodes, and you were able to swap a few for like strength to get a little bit more energy shield and a little bit more damage. It worked out quite well, and all this extra crit damage was incredible. So again, I want to show that. This isn't scrolling up all the way. Unfortunate, I did not show everything. But yeah, the things to change would be to remove this node, anoint Deep Trance, move Controlled Metamorphosis up to here, and instead of anointing Wildstorm, you'd obviously have Deep Trance. You'd also select Serrated Edges, just like how you have with Wildstorm with your Controlled Metamorphosis, and that would give you the capped crit chance with Charge Infusion and with Critical Weakness from your Eye of Winter. You would manually path through here to Falcon Technique, and you'd manually path all the way up here to Enhanced Reflexes, picking up all these Dex nodes, and it'll give you crazy high attack speed. You would drop Critical Exploit. If you have anything in Careful Assassin, you drop that as well. I do not believe you had anything there, but I'm going off of what you had in the picture. I know you didn't have anything for Overflowing Power, and so we're keeping that off because then you're not having to deal with managing power charges, although I think this 60% increased critical hit damage would be very nice for you if you have a few extra points. You'd obviously drop all this and not worry about it at all. And then you did not path up here, so there's no point in moving Heroic Tragedy. You would no longer have the point in Natural Energies. It's a very nice node, like a ridiculously nice node, but you're worth dropping off the 40% increased maximum energy shield. If you wanted it, you'd come here and get 40% increased maximum energy shield plus another 15 for 2 points. and that is where you get your defensives back. With all the noted changes I have, with like coming up here through Throat Seeker and getting Deep Trance and all these manual pathings, you can get there at level 95. 95, and I'm pretty sure you're 97, so you'll have extra points left over. I definitely think this is the way to go for you. I'm saddened that I lost my Path of Building, but I'm pretty sure you can make it work with this bit of information. Overall, your gear is like literally the best I've seen. This is ridiculous. You even have a little bit of rarity in there for just enjoyment's sake. Super high base stats on everything. You even went the smart way of not getting move speed on your boots for the sake of you're always moving around with Tempest Flurry. Literally the only thing I'd say to change on here is drop Herald of Ice to put on Charge Infusion, and if you needed some more Spirit, you could, and then like obviously dropping off Precision and Clarity if you need it. And if you still need more Spirit, drop Cast on Critical for Elemental Invocation and just automate it. Like, yeah, you got crazy good stuff. You already saw my other comments on all your other gear. I definitely think you got one of the strongest characters I've seen, and yeah, also on top of it, oh my, that cosmetic effect you have for the jellyfish. Ugh, I love it, where it's orbiting around you and shocking around with the electrical effect. For anybody's purpose, I'll have it up on the screen now, just so you can see exactly what it is that he got. I love the look of that. That's my first time talking about a microtransaction in one of these, but I think it's worth it. Either way, though, I really hope you got some good benefit out of this. I hope it can help a lot of people. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like the video and sub if you did, and if you didn't, don't. Either way, I'm really glad that you're here. Thank you again, dudes. Random Fight Fan. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.